Hi, everyone. This is Deidre Kindred, your nurse advocate, coming to you this evening with another fabulous chat, health chats among friends. I'm here with my good friend Jaime Cobb with the James L. West Alzheimer's Center. Say hi, Jamie.
Hi, everyone.
Well, thank you for taking the time out of your extremely busy schedule to come and chat with me. So, Jamie, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, at the James L. West Center, I do education, and this is different. The James L. West Center is a long-term care community for people with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. So we have residents here that are being well taken care of. We do have a day program. It's not open at the moment, but we do have a day program and able to provide respite for families. But what I do in my department is we do education for family members, for people that are just in the community living with this disease, for future health and current healthcare workers. We are really here to help people hone their skills, understand what's happening to somebody's brain that has dementia, so we can provide the best care that we possibly can, whether we're a family member or a friend or a healthcare professional. Because this disease is, it's a pandemic within itself, unfortunately. So how can we best care for these individuals and their families and create support systems that best help them through the whole journey of the disease process? And that is mainly what I do, and I love it.
Well, you do such an amazing job at it. And I'm not saying that because I am saying that because I used to work there. I certainly enjoyed it. And the passion and the purpose and the mission that is carried on at James L. West, not only that, you care for everybody. And I'm talking about employees, families, and actually the patients that you serve, the clients. I don't want to say patients because they're residents, right? The residents that you serve. And it is about the whole person when it comes to Alzheimer's disease. And
Yeah,
people just don't know what they don't know. And so that's why I love that your platform has so much free education.
yes.
So tell us about some of the programs that you have going on.
We have a lot, and right now, because of COVID, one of the good things that came out of this is now we have stuff online. Most of it is all online. We used to do it all in person, but now we have them online. We're recording them. We download them to our website. So if you miss something or you think, gosh, right now I don't really need to hear about managing bathing with my loved one, but in a couple of months I might, I know where to come and find that. To get those videos the time that you need them, access them anytime, wherever you need it. A lot like what you're doing here, Deidre, is education, and where can I access it when I actually need
You
it.
know,
My
and
later on, I need to rehear it later on too. So,
right. And it's such a wonderful platform because when a loved one has Alzheimer's, there's so many different levels of education that where a family member could be because it's really about educating that family member. And you have to go into their world. And a lot of people don't understand that and they come up against frustration and um, they're just so stressed out because mom or dad is not cooperating.
yeah,
Yes, there we go.
I'm doing what I want them to do, by golly. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But I love it because I think that everybody needs that refresher or that because nobody's the same. Nobody's the same. Everybody's an individual, and there's no, if you do this, then they're going to do that.
mhm,
Or
yeah,
if you say this, then they're going to say that. There's no textbook way. So, with that being said, they don't have to be people don't the general public doesn't have to be have a resident to get education from James L. West, correct?
correct. Thank you for saying that. No, our part of our mission here is to, the skills that our CNAs and our nurses use is to impart that throughout as many people that want it. Throughout the nation, really. because we know that here at the West Center, we can care for 100 residents. That's what we're licensed to do, and 25 in our day program. But we know there's so much more need there. And not everybody wants to go to a long-term care community or can afford to go to one, right? But they're living with this, and they're living with the frustration and difficulties and the whys and the complexities that come along with this. So how can we get you this information and help build your skills to be able to do this and for everybody to survive the disease? I mean, dementia is a progressive illness, but how do we survive it and have a good quality of life? And really the main focus or kind of the underlying philosophy of all of our education and the care we do here at the West Center is, how do you live well with this disease? Knowing that it will progress and it is a terminal illness, but how can I live well with it in the meantime? It's not a death sentence, because I can live well and still have a quality of life with my loved one. And that's kind of the main underlying mission of all of our education. Yeah, we're imparting some skills and we're talking about emotional health and how do you de-stress. We kind of look at it from all angles, but knowing, because we've got to be able to live well with this.
Right. And it's all about caring for that family member too, because sometimes they get so stressed out and they get so full of guilt that they think that they feel guilty about doing something for themselves. And so that's where that respite care comes in. So for those that don't understand what respite care is, I know before COVID, but let's delve into a little bit more of that. What is respite care and why should someone consider utilizing that service?
Yeah, respite care is any type of care that's short term rest for the person, kind of respite is on one. And it can be from a couple of hours today. Maybe you have somebody come into your home and you're able to leave them with that person, somebody you trusted or skilled, and then you can go off, whether it's go take a nap or you can go shopping.
Nails done.
Something you used to do that you really enjoy, all the way up to overnight stays in a community somewhere. It's not a long-term placement, it is short-term. So most places in each community will be different, but generally what it is, it's either a 3-night stay up to a 28-day stay. So you do get that secure environment, safe environment, whether your loved one's getting taken care of, but you're also getting taken care of. Because quite frankly, and I believe this so much, and I learned this from Tifa Snow, but if you don't separate yourself from the disease, you start to see your loved one as a disease. So the frustration and sometimes the anger and the sadness and the joy, but that just how hard, it's just extremely hard. I see that as my loved one, but I've got to separate myself, and I have to do that by actually physically separating myself from my loved one and getting that rest from them, so I don't see them as the disease. They're not the ones that's causing the frustration, the disease. It's not them. But you have to be able to separate yourself. And a lot of families, while they may have other families that are helping support and kind of tag teaming out, some of them don't. Sometimes it's a spouse that's in there 24/7.
Right.
So you might have to call on some outside respite care, somebody in your home, or you go somewhere else too. And that's essential, and it's crucial for your health and your loved ones.
Right. Because both of us have seen that sometimes the caregiver negates their health and they end up getting sick and sometimes passing away before the loved one that they were caring for. So that's very real. And it's so easy. Me personally, when my mom was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and then she had some dementia symptoms related to the Parkinson's, I'm so fortunate that I had 2 sisters, I still have them, that we were able to help kind of have family meeting after family meeting after family meeting to how we were going to adjust and replan, because it was never the same all the time. And we also encouraged each other, hey, I got mom today, you go have a you day. Or hey, I got mom for a few hours, go get your hair done. That is so important to be able to take the help, take the
Yeah.
assistance. And I tell people all the time, I did a speaking panel with a good friend, Charlotte Kenyon, and another lady, and we were talking about dealing with caregiver burnout. And that is so true because some people feel like, oh, I can't go do this because I have to be here for mom, dad, whoever, fill in the blank. And they end up negating themselves. And then they get this resentful type, feeling sometimes. Everybody's different, but I see that a lot. Yeah. So, what are some of the classes that you got going on?
We do a lot. So right now, because most of it is online, we do have a twice weekly support group, and those are run by a licensed professional counselor. And these are not your normal support groups because she has a general topic that she talks about, but it's really open for discussion too. And the topics are support based. And how do you manage your caregiving skills, and how do you cope with this emotionally and mentally? So those are twice weekly, and they're free. They're open to the community. Pop online, right? You can find the links to pop online on Facebook, on our Facebook page, or our website. But we also do bite-sized programs. So they're just short 30-minute programs that dive deep into a topic that helps us build our skill to be able to provide care for somebody with dementia. You said it just a minute ago, Deidre, you don't know what you don't know. So if I don't know the best way to communicate or how to kind of be a detective and understand what my loved one's communicating to me, then I'm going to have a harder time helping them manage the disease, right? So just kind of some skill building there. And also, how do I work on myself? Because there are a lot of emotional turmoil. What if resentment comes up, or I'm just overwhelmed with guilt? How do I work through some of that stuff as a caregiver so I can be a better caregiver, and a better person overall?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how does one get to those courses? Do they just jameslwest.org?
Org.
Okay, I wanted to make sure
Yeah, it is. It's jameslwest.org. You can go there. We have an education calendar listed and all that stuff, and you can just register, click on the link, and automatically register there. You can go to our Facebook page, and there's a lot of our events on Facebook as well. Or you can email caregiver@jameslwest.org, and we can send you an upcoming monthly calendar of our education programs. And we send out weekly emails just to keep people apprised of here's what's coming up, and make sure and sign up if you want to join that. Just an email list. We don't ever solicit you for money or just to come in. And
right.
I mean, if you want to come and tour, please, we're happy to have you. But it is strictly an education thing. We're not trying to sell you on anything here. We just want to impart the knowledge and the skills because we know how hard it is, and we know that there's a lot to know.
Yes.
So you can do better.
Yes, and don't feel like if your loved one is not a resident of James L. West, or maybe your loved one is in another facility. It doesn't hurt to learn. You never know. And I love that not only you have for families and those caregivers, when I say caregiver, I think of professional caregivers and families, that your loved ones are the caregiver, because we all have or will play the caregiver role soon, someday.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish, because when I was working in the hospital, I think there needs to be a course or a class for nurses who are working in the ICU, how to deal with a client who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, because I can tell you so many stories of how it was done wrong. And there's not any particular hospital system. I'm just saying the hospital system is an environment that's very structured, and it's do it their way. You know what I mean? Not the patient's way. So it's lots of things that I have seen that was like, oh my goodness, if only that nurse had gone through a course in how to deal with someone, particularly in the ICU setting. It's a way that you can make life a whole lot easier And I just did that because I was involved with, Alzheimer's. My mom helped me a lot with that, with dementia and Alzheimer's, but also, you know, working at other places. And then they would come into the ICU. You gotta operate differently. You can't expect them to listen to the bells and whistles and stay in bed, and that's not going to happen easily.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, sounds like another career path to go to
No, right?
hours.
I ought to think of that, but I got enough on my plate right now.
I know, right?
Well, again, let's mention how someone can get in touch with not only you for more information about the classes that are free and very informative, and also where are you guys located?
We're right here, right in the middle of downtown Fort Worth, or on the outskirts of downtown Fort Worth. Real easy to get to, actually. Don't let the downtown part scare you. On the corner of Lancaster and Summit, we have our own parking lot, and our doors are always open. You can come in and say hi. You can't really tour right now, but we can do a virtual tour with you for sure. I'm a live virtual tour. But email us at caregiver@jameslwest.org for any questions, or just, hey, I've never heard of you. What do you do again? Or I want that list of upcoming programs. Our website, jameslwest.org. And then we do have Facebook. We do have a YouTube channel as well. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. We're out there. So please come in, or just Google us at James West, and you'll find it too.
Awesome place. Awesome place. Well, Jamie, thank you again for joining us. Maybe we can have you back a few months from now. Maybe we can hone in on a specific topic, such as, the sky's the limit, right? Dealing with caregiver burnout, or, how do you get your loved one to, maybe eat, a more nutritious meal, or how do you go into their world? There's so much we can do. So I would love, love, love to have you back.
Great. Yeah.
Any parting comments?
I think you kind of said it earlier. Don't be afraid to accept that help or ask for that help,
Right.
Especially if you're kind of in the midst of this. There's a lot to know. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing it as well. And the more support you can have, and just hearing other people's stories, the more you won't feel alone. You'll feel more connected. But you do need to reach out. And it's kind of easier now with COVID because we can connect online in a wider variety and faster. So please don't hesitate to ever reach out. Somebody's always there, always listening. And
yes.
learn a lot.
I love that. You are not alone. It's just so many resources out here. So if you forget about contacting James L. West, pretty easy, James L. West. If you forget, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Deidre Kendrick, your nurse advocate. You can go to my website at www.yournurseadvocates.com, or you can give me a call at 817-854-3240. I love connecting you with the right resources so you can enjoy, in a way, your medical journey by being informed and stress-free. Thank you again for tuning in to Health Chats Among Friends, and you guys have a good evening.